whatever happens in your marriage, especially as a Christian, see, don't think the end of it is divorce. Because when you divorce your husband, see, how to rebuild trust in a marriage. When I speak on this channel, I tell people, see, especially when you're in marriage, whatever may have happened to your marriage, to your relationship, to your man, to your woman, especially ladies to men, and especially when it has to do with children in that relationship. See, I grew up with a woman. I'm not asking that you stay in a relationship or in that marriage till the marriage kills you or the man kills you. But whatever happened in your marriage, see, I am married today from my mom's experience, from my grandma's experience. I was so blessed to grow up with an old woman. Of course, she told me so many things about marriage. Of course, this is what my grandmother does. She's a counselor, she's a deaconess in church. Of course, she later became a pastor, and of course, these are things she loves doing. And she tells people, see, whatever happens in your marriage, especially as a Christian, see, don't think the end of it is divorce. Because when you divorce your husband, see, she will tell you, see, I have gone through my Bible. I have not seen where God say you should divorce your husband because he was caught in infidelity, cheating, or something, whatever you call it. The Bible did not insist on you or bank on it and asking you to go divorce. As a woman, she tells you, see, whatever may be the advice you have read about, the experiences from other people, talks from other people, suggestions from other people, what comes to your mind first? If there is anything in your marriage or something happen in your marriage that you think you cannot hold, see, go back to your shell. Think about your contribution in that marriage. Think about your involvement in whatever may have happened. Be sincere to yourself. Tell yourself the truth on what may have happened or what transpired. What are your conversations with your friend? She once told me, she said, a lady came before she passed on. She said, a lady is complaining that her friend is sleeping with her husband. And of course, this is the same friend she brings to the house to stay on the same bed. And she sees how much, she tells this lady keeps her gadgets and other things. And of course, this lady is aware of how much her husband gives her and how much comes from her husband, how much love her husband gives her. And of course, her friend is not married. And what do you expect? See, these are friends, yes. But sometimes temptation is set in. You leave this woman in the house to take care of your children. She's all over with your husband. She goes shopping with your husband. And of course, most times when she shops, she goes to her house and drop whatever, especially when you are around or she is around. She goes home to drop whatever she has gotten for herself. And of course, she comes back home to her friend's house. Or she comes with her husband and the kids from her shopping or whatever to the house. And of course, you allow this to happen. So if anything happens between your husband and this lady, you allow it. So do not complain too much. So sometime when there is something in your marriage, you have to put a check on yourself and know what has happened. Now, number one of the tips I'm going to give you, there are really few. Be remorseful about what may have happened, especially if you have put a check on it and you discover part of what has happened or is happening is coming from you. Learn to be remorseful about it. Tell yourself the truth, like I said, and of course make a change. It will help your marriage to stand, and of course you regain trust again in your relationship called marriage. If you can put a check on this thing and of course be remorseful about whatever contribution you may have given to cause whatever is a pain or is like a pinch in your relationship called marriage. So if you can put a check on it, it will help your marriage. Forgiveness is key in anything marriage. Forgiveness is key because it has to do with two of you. It must not come from your man. Learn to forgive even before the complaint comes. I am not saying you should keep forgiving and the man keeps doing the same thing We are all in this marriage together. We know what pinches us. We know we can forgive. You know you can let go, because there's really nothing too much to do, because the end of the whole thing, of the whole razzmatazz, if you're not careful, is divorce. And of course, it might fall back on the innocent children, and tomorrow they become nuisance to the society, because you might not be there to put your hands to take care of your children the way you want it. See, my mother once told me, she said, see, when I had my first baby, my mom told me something. She came to my house, and of course, she sat down. And of course, I think 2 weeks later, she told me she was going back to her husband. And I said, you're here for Omogo, and you're telling me you're going back. Why would you just leave like that? And she sat me down. She said, see, if I decide to stay here for 2 years, the much you can give to your child, I cannot. See, I can take care of you as my daughter, but the best woman that will take care of your house and will take care of your children the way you want it and the way the world will accept it, it is you, the woman, that have that mindset and have that strength to take care of your children prayerfully and in any aspect of life. It is you as a woman. So if you're forcing me to stay for another 1 year or 1 month, see, I am just going to be here and taking care of your child. My mind is not here. I'm going back to my husband. So it is you that can take care of your family and take care of them well. And of course, I learned a lesson. So if you're going to leave that marriage for whatsoever, it has happened, it has been happening, it will happen again. If that is your mindset, or that is what it looks like is going to be in your marriage, see, I'm not advising divorce, because in my little way, I have not seen where it is said after divorce you should remarry. I don't know. I have not seen it. Please, let's make research about that. Biblically, and of course, as a Christian, I have not really seen. Of course, I have listened to my grandma speak about it, and my little way of making research and all that. I have not seen emphatically in capital letter C. If you catch or you see your husband in infidelity or something goes wrong in your marriage, please, as a woman, run to the court, go and divorce. I have not seen it. Please don't quote me yet. I have not seen it. I am still learning. We are learning. And if you have, please don't forget to drop it at the comment section, because we are here to reason together. I am not a lord. I'm passionate about it. And of course, I'm passionate about this dating and relationship, because I have watched what my grandmother went through in marriage, in relationships. I have watched what my mother went through in her marriage with my father. I have watched what my aunties, uncles around went through. So I decided, of course, I have always been passionate about this marriage and relationship thing. And of course, if you have not subscribed, please, you have to subscribe. I will encourage you to subscribe, to give me that your encouragement. I need it to be able to stand and, of course, do what I love doing best. This is what I love doing. I love decency in relationship. I love togetherness. I love when two people come together and make things work, whatsoever may be the case. Yes, we all have challenges, including me. I have had my challenges in my marriage, and of course, in my little way, I made sure it worked. So be patient and be confident that it's going to work again. Be open to all your struggles with your partner. Do all you can to rebuild your relationship again. Make sure the relationship stands again. If it's going to go sour, let it not come from you. Do all to make sure your relationship is standing again from you. Respect your boundaries and keep to all your vows in that relationship, especially whatever is the problem, and of course it looks like it's coming from. So long as what you're doing is decent and is good, please don't forget to respect your boundaries and anything that has to make the relationship work, especially when the next person listens to whatever is happening, and of course the blame should not come to you. God bless you, and thanks for stopping by.